Hello, family. All praises and blessings to the Creator, our Father, the Most High. This morning, I'll be going over just a few items in the covenant that is made with our Father. There is a lot of items in our covenant, and I'm just going to cover a few of those items. In Deuteronomy, in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, starting at chapter 5, verse 7, the one begins, which is the first one and the main one also. Thou shalt not have strange gods in my sight. No other God, no one. There is no other sovereign Elohim but our Father, the Creator. 5:8. Thou shalt not make to thyself a graven thing, nor the likeness of any things that are in heaven above, or that are in the earth beneath, or that abide in the waters under the earth. So no items made and graven to be worshiped, because we seem to want to worship those things that are not to be worshiped. Try to get this right here. I want to try to zoom it in and see what we can get. See if you can read what I have written down here. So be patient with me, family. Okay. And then 5-9. Thou shalt not adore them. This is still considering, no other gods. So these first three have covered just the main one of any other gods, okay? And thou shalt not adore them, and thou shalt not serve them, for I am the Lord, thy Most High. I am a jealous Elohim. Right there says a whole lot. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon their children, unto the third and fourth generation, to them that hate me. And the Most High say, if you want to choose to worship another God or worship something that you call a God, then you hate him. And he will return that back to you. So no other gods, there are no other. Our enemies, the Gentiles, have given us one in the New Testament and tried to keep our heads in the New Testament and tried to keep us focused on the New Testament, telling our family that the old original covenant has been done away with when there has never been a new one. There has not been a new covenant. The Lord said, I do not change. And he does not change. 5 verse 10. And showing mercy unto my thousands, to them that love me and keep my commandments. Like I say, he said, if you don't want to follow his commandments and you want to choose to have another God, that you hate him. Please remember that, family. Chapter 5, verse 11. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for he shall not be unpunished that taketh his name upon a vain thing. 5-12. Observe the day of the Sabbath to sanctify it, as the Lord the Most High hath commanded thee. For out of all the work, there is one day there should be no work. Everything you've done throughout the week, you should have provided for you, and for that one day, to not do any work upon that day. 5-12. Or did I just hit 12? Okay, 5-13, or verse 13. 6 days shalt thou labor, and shalt do all the works. 5, verse 14. The seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy Most High. Thou shalt do any work therein, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy ox, nor thy ass, nor any of thy beast, nor the stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest, even as thyself. Chapter 5, verse 16. Hope you're able to see this. Chapter 5, verse 16. Honor thy father and mother, as the Lord thy Most High hath commanded thee, that you mayest live a long time, and it may be well with thee, it may be well with thee in the land, which the Lord thy Elohim will give thee. And these are the lands we have today. And because of us not following these commandments or the covenant, our ancestors, we are punished by our fathers. And during this time right now, our punishment has come to the end. We were chastised for the disobedience of our fathers. And this covenant requires obedience. But no one wants to obey. No one wants to follow the covenant. We'll listen to our parents, try to break some of the rules, and then, it'll be well. But, our parents didn't take that mess. They didn't play that. So now we have to understand, or should be understanding, the Lord don't play that either. So chapter 5, verse 6, which all of us has probably heard. Verse 17, thou shalt not kill. We've heard that one quite a bit. We've heard chapter 5, verse 18, neither shalt thou commit adultery. Verse 19, and thou shalt not steal. We've heard those most commonly over the times of our life for us elders. The young ones in our family, I don't know. Have they heard this? Have they even read in the Old Testament or the scriptures, the Torah that was given to us? And this is considered the Torah, the Old Testament. And the young ones today, if they follow anything in the church, then they've been told that this is done away with. And the church is doing that to steal your soul and send it into hell. And we're trying to prevent all of that, to come back together to the Father and to Him only, and keep our souls out of the pit of fire. Chapter 5, verse 20. Neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor. And I'm sure we understand what that means, which is all lies are considered lies. You're lying against your neighbor with someone else in confederacy. Chapter 5, verse 21. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his house, nor his field, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is his. Chapter 5, verse 29. Who shall give them to have such a mind to fear me and to keep all my commandments and at all times, that it may be well with them and with their children forever. And here in chapter 6, verse 4, which is not part of the covenant, but goes with chapter 5, verse 7, that thou shalt not have any strange gods in my sight. Chapter 6, verse 4, hear, O Israel, which is our family. The Lord, our Elohim, is one Lord. There is no other gods. There is no one else to save us. The Creator is our Savior. He's the only Savior. He giveth life and He giveth death. And He can take away all. And when I speak of death, the perfect example, I hope I have the right book here. I might have to get my other book, so bear with me, family. Okay. So we want to go to a couple of things I had in here. I pray it's in this book here. Most of it might be in the book of Adam and Eve, and that's the one I may have to go to. And it covers our grandfather Adam. Okay, so it does. Give me a moment, family. It should be here. I'm going to try to start here in this book of Adam and Eve 1. Okay, I think the first one I have here is in Adam and Eve 1, book 1, chapter 6. Hope I can get all that in that screen now. This book seems wider than the other one. Try to push it away. Oop, that ain't gonna work. Let's try this. Here you see I have here Back to Life right over here. And in chapter 6, verse 1, it says, "But the Most High looked at them, for they had killed themselves through great grief." If you can get all that as I move this recording device. Ooh. And then, verse 2, "And he decided to raise them and comfort them." This was the first time that Adam and Eve killed themselves. That's correct. They killed themselves. And the Most High raised them back up to life. He is our Savior, our one and only Savior. Okay. And then I'll move it over here to continue Back to Life. Get some focus here. Therefore, chapter 6, verse 3, we went through 6, 1, 2, and this is 3. Therefore, he sent his word to them that they should stand and be raised immediately. And he put life back into Adam and Eve. They both died or killed themselves. And then chapter 7 just covers that on this verse 2, chapter 7, verse 2. I got time frame written there, as you can see. And it says, "Then the Most High had pity on them and said, O Adam, I have made my covenant with you, and I will not turn from it." See, the Most High does not change. There is no covenant done away with. "Neither will I let you return to the garden until my covenant of the great 5.5 days is fulfilled." Okay. And then down here, as you can see at the bottom, I have the second death. As you can see right there, the second death. Chapter 10, verse 3. "Then the Most High sent his word to Adam and Eve, who raised them from their death." That's the second time they killed themselves. Better try to move the phone, huh? It's just so large in this book. And the other book, I guess I wrote a little smaller pages, whatever. And as you can see up here at the top of chapter 12, verse 6, the third death of Adam. "And the word of the Most High came to Adam and raised him from his death and opened Eve's mouth that she might speak." Eve did not kill herself that time, but Adam did. And I believe this was in the Cave of Treasures. And then, after that, chapter 21, verse 4. Then Adam threw himself down from the top of that mountain. His face was torn and his flesh was ripped, and he lost much of his blood and was close to death. Verse 5. Meanwhile, Eve remained standing on the mountain, crying over him, lying as he was. Verse 6. And she said, I don't wish to live after him, for all that he did to himself was because of me. And what she's meaning by that is the fruit of the tree of life that they were not supposed to eat from. And she is the one who listened to Satan and gave the fruit to Adam as well as her eating of it. And that began death within our lives. We were not to die. We were to prosper at the Garden of Eden and live eternally. But Satan, jealous Satan, who wants the earth and the souls, came down and spoke with Eve and convinced her to eat from the tree of life, and she gave some to Adam. And without questioning or asking, Adam ate of the fruit of the tree of life. Chapter 21, verse 7. I continue on. Then she threw herself after him and was torn and ripped by stones and remained lying as dead. This is our grandparents who jumped off a mountain to kill themselves because they were not in the Garden of Eden anymore. And after realizing what was done, Adam kept trying to kill himself to get back in the garden, and he could not until the 5.5 days, like the Most High has spoke with him and told him, it was completed. And we are still within that 5.5 days, and it is almost complete. One day for the Most High is 1,000 years. So he's not punishing us that long in his eyes. To us, it seems, 500 years, because we're not going to live that long anyway. But 1,000 years is one day. So not even half a day we're being punished. Not even half of one day for the Most High. Then she threw herself, okay, we read that one in verse 8. But the merciful Elohim, who looks over his creatures, looked at Adam and Eve as they lay dead, and he sent his word to them and raised them. And I'm going to use the word again, but it stops right there after and raised them. And this is the fourth time Adam and Eve, the fourth time Adam has killed himself, and the third time Eve has killed herself. Verse 9. And said to Adam, O Adam, all this misery which you have brought on yourself will have no effect on my ruling. The Most High never changes. Neither will it alter the covenant of the 5,500 years, 5.5 days. And then the Most High began to let Adam know in chapter 24, verse 4, in the book of Adam and Eve. Then the word of the Lord came to Adam and said to him, let's see if you can get that right there. And this is the Most High's sacrifice of himself in our future. O Adam, as you have shed your blood, so will I shed my own blood when I become flesh of your descendants. And as you died, O Adam, so also will I die. And as you built an altar, so also will I make for you an altar of the earth. And as you offered your blood on it, so also will I offer my blood on an altar on the earth. So here now, move over. Adam and Eve, book 1. As you can see in chapter 67, verse 12. Then Satan began to lead Adam and Eve in the wrong direction for 8 days, until they both fell down as if dead from hunger, thirst, and weakness. Then he fled with his host and left them to die, or which happened. Chapter 68, verse 1. Then the Most High looked at Adam and Eve and at what had befallen them from Satan and how he killed them. Verse 2. So the Most High sent his word and raised Adam and Eve of death. And that is the 5th death. That is the 5th death of Adam and the 4th death of Eve. For not following the covenant of our Father, the Most High. And the mistake that they made in the garden by eating the fruit from the tree of life. And here, chapter 69, verse 3. Then Satan hurried with the sharp iron stone he had and pierced Adam on the right side, and the blood and water flowed. Then Adam fell on the altar like a corpse, and Satan fled. 69 verse 4. Then Eve came and took Adam and placed him below the altar. There she stayed, crying over him while a stream of blood flowed from Adam's side over his offering. 69 verse 5. But the Most High looked at the death of Adam. He then sent his word and raised him up. And he said to him, fulfill your offering, because certainly, Adam, it is worthy, and there is no imperfection in it. So that is the 6th death where Adam was brought back to life, the 6th time. Eve died 4 times. Adam died 6 times. Satan killed him twice. He killed himself 4 times. Satan killed Eve once. So remember, family, there is no other Elohim, there's no other sovereign, true Elohim or God. Jesus, or what y'all call Jesus, is not a God. He's made up by the Gentiles to lead us away from this kind of beauty where we can be brought back to life by the Creator. But we must follow the commandments and obey the Creator. Otherwise, he thinks we hate him. And if we hate him or you hate him, then you're his enemy. You're his adversary. So now definitely is the time in these end of days to retreat away from that so-called Jesus and away from the church who is trying to lead you to death, to their Jesus, who is not a God. There is no other gods. There's none that have been upon this earth. There will never be until the Creator comes. Jesus hadn't saved no one. No one. Thank you for listening. Thank you for understanding, family. May the Most High bless you all.